This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
We're leaving together, but it's still farewell. And maybe we'll come back to Earth, who can tell? I guess there is no one to blame. We're leaving ground. Will things ever be the same again? It's the final countdown! That is right, gentlemen. We've come to the end of the season.
Why did I think you were reciting Superman the movie? Lois Lane's part.
I thought for a second it was the song from Fast and the Furious. I thought you were going to try to get me emotional again.
No.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And Jacob.
And this is our season 4 finale.
Woo, woo, woo.
The last show of the season. We're going to take a 3-week break. Something like that.
You said it was a 3-month break.
Yeah.
Are you guys recording sooner than that?
We told you it was a 3-month break.
Yeah, that's what
I like how we don't even try to mislead anyone at this point. We're taking a break for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll be back on January 14th.
This makes sense.
So look for January 14th when we should be back, presuming nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, I don't think anything will.
And
We've taken safety precautions.
How could we be more
We're so secure
cautious,
right now.
honestly. We could not be
Exactly.
more cautious
so
than what
it's
we
so
have been.
safe here in the Bacon Cave.
It really is.
But also, we want to let you know that we'll still be present on social media. We'll each be posting shows, meaning that Jacob's going to pick a retro show he wants to post again, and Kent's going to pick one, and then I'm going to pick one. So
Indeed.
Nice.
you can still see those on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Well, Facebook and Twitter. If I post on Instagram, it's there forever.
What?
Nothing.
Is it not supposed
So
to be?
it's a whole thing
they-
with pictures
I'm
and
so
images.
confused.
It's my OCD flaring up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we want to also thank you for listening to our last show, our
You're welcome.
Hallmark movie show. Although, gentlemen, we made a fatal error.
What was our error?
The error was...
Watching all those Hallmark movies.
I feel like my heart is a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a
I've been
condition.
wearing so many
That's
more sweaters.
scientifically impossible, Kent. Remember we had the scientists check you out?
Yeah.
It just doesn't go that way.
I've been wearing so many more sweaters and drinking hot cocoa a lot more
so my
since
heart's
watching it.
warmer
That
because I'm wearing
explains
more
it.
sweaters.
Okay.
But no, last time on the Hallmark episode, we said that Brandon Gehrig recommended a Nutcracker Christmas, which is the one Kent watched.
Yes.
And we erroneously said that because it was actually Brandon Davis. So sorry, Brandon.
You lied to us?
I think, both Brandons, because now we just outed Brandon Davis for having watched that movie, and Brandon Gehrig got the blame for it.
Sorry, Brandon.
We're sorry, Brandons.
Yes. And also, we want to bring up our current giveaway.
Yes.
Our Christmas giveaway, as we're calling
Yes.
it.
It's all about iTunes reviews. We want your 5-star reviews, nothing less.
We want your reviews.
Yes.
You can give us a rating, but give us a review.
Yeah, and so what we're looking for is we want you to write us a review. It could be any review. Hopefully it's nice by December 31st. And that is so you'll be eligible to win anything from tpublic.com/baconsale.
This is your chance to get some merch at no cost because we will ship
right.
it to you.
Yes.
For example, we have an iTunes review from Love Shannon, and she says, if you need a good laugh and like pop culture, these are your boys. Even when the topic they are talking about doesn't really interest me, I still listen because the banter between them is pretty entertaining.
That's just every week, probably.
But I'm usually interested in their...
Poor Shannon.
But then she says, but I'm usually interested in their topics. Like, she got that saving grace there. Like, but I'm usually interested in their topics and their versus shows and their games. It's a really fun podcast.
Oh, wow.
So I'm marking that as helpful.
I'm marking that as eligible to win. And so
Yep.
we're going to pick one.
It's only eligible to win if she sends us a screenshot of her
Yes.
review.
Thank you.
To baconsalepodcast at gmail.com.
That's right.
So baconsalepodcast at gmail.com. If you've already written a review, you've already kind of entered. You just need to send us the screenshot. Otherwise, you're not eligible because we need
So Shannon,
to know who is
go
who.
do it. I don't
listen,
think I've
everyone,
seen yours come through.
While you're feeling all warm and your heart's a little bit warmer, send us a review because after January 1st, we are going to be giving away a present. After December 31st.
Yes.
January is so depressing, and so you might as well win like something cool from the Baconsale store.
And
so
just warm
write
the
a review.
cockles of our heart with a review as well.
Family friendly.
And go get all of your family members to go in and leave a review, and then you can just send
Spam
that.
everyone.
Yeah. And then you can just send that into Baconsale podcast at Gmail,
And then you can get the prize.
And then you get the prize.
They're like, I'm
Exactly.
not a fan of bacon cell. It's like, okay, I still want the shirt.
Exactly.
So, guys, I have another announcement to make really quick.
What?
You're pregnant.
I'm pregnant. It's weird. It's like,
I knew it.
When the doctor checked me out for the warmer heart condition,
They found out it was a
he
baby.
Found out it's
Yeah.
a baby.
Urine tests can do amazing things these days.
They call that heartburn, Kent. And it just means your baby has a lot of hair.
It's a burrito baby. What? It's my twin. Maybe it's my twin.
Could be.
Where is this show
What's your
gone?
announcement?
What'd you find out?
Oh, our announcement. So it's about Patreon. So patreon.com/baconsale. You can go there now, but we have a new patron that we want to celebrate.
Yes.
It is a listener. we have a tier 1 listener, a new patron to announce, and it's Kyler Williamson.
Hey, Kyler.
Of a more civilized podcast. And I want to repeat
you're saying his podcast is more civilized than ours?
It is, well, yeah, come on.
The name of the podcast is?
We don't have to listen to it to
A
know that.
more civilized podcast.
That sounds like a Star Wars reference.
It is a Star Wars reference. In fact, it's a Star Wars podcast where they know kind of like deep, well, kind of. It is a deep dive with Star Wars into some
Deep
like
Star Wars doctrine.
He is a great supporter. He's been with us for years.
It's true.
Thank you so much, Kyler.
You old fox.
You sly fox. But yeah, so everyone, if you want to join Patreon, go do it. And we have some new stuff to announce for next year. We're not going to do it yet.
We're working. We've done Patreon for a while now. We're
Yes.
enjoying it. We hope you are enjoying it as well. All the extras that we're doing. But we are going to make some changes in the upcoming year.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. And if
Changes are coming.
If you don't like changes, just sign up now. Be grandfathered in.
I hate change, so I may sign up.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I know some people will wish they had signed up before, and some might be glad that they waited. So who knows what they'll do?
Who knows?
Well, they're still going to get the incentives regardless. So
They will, and better ones and more, which is the whole idea. We're trying to make it better for you. We've had a lot of time to learn and grow from this experience with Patreon, which has been awesome.
Yeah, and thank you so much to all you patrons who've been supporting us, keeping the lights on here in the Bacon Cave. We really do appreciate it. We
really
hope
do.
you enjoy the extras the extra behind the scenes stuff you're getting too.
Yep. And if you ever
Indeed.
have ideas for other stuff that we could offer, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And gentlemen, I have an announcement too.
Jake, I can't believe you're leaving the show.
I can.
Joel saw it coming. No, Kent. It's
Is that
not,
what you're gonna say?
It's
No.
not that. No.
What's your announcement?
I just want to announce before Joel asks me. Well,
What are we talking about today, Jacob?
Oh, dang it, he got in there. Today, guys, it's time for the full season 4 review.
We're looking back.
Yep.
It's our self-indulgent episode. This isn't one you're probably
That's
gonna,
pretty much what it is.
It is, because you're not going to share this episode with your family and friends, which you're probably sharing all the other ones, we know. But
Yeah.
but this is one that's more for the fans who've been with us the whole season, who want to join us in a little clip show, as we call it.
It's behind
Looking
the
back.
scenes, behind the curtain, you can find out what's going on.
Right.
You can hear about random stuff or maybe fights or whatever.
This is the lazy episode of your favorite sitcom.
Although we honestly have a lot of fun with these shows.
We do.
Usually,
Well, it's
because
fun to go back-
we get kind of candid and open and
Yeah. It's what we do. So this past season, we did 48 episodes, I believe, 15 bacon bits, and then we did 9 Pacon bits, which is special for patrons only. And then we also released 3 uncut shows, meaning raw shows that we threw out there for our patrons.
Just 3, huh?
Yeah, just 3 so far. Because
Okay. I feel like that needs to be more.
We could, but use so much profanity, and we didn't want to release
So-
those.
Well, if you weren't such a
oh, I had a beep noise there.
I have a confession to make. Those uncut shows, maybe there were some things that were cut. Like I have to fall on. This is like the honesty show, right?
Yes, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
There were times like I'm going to blame Jake on this one, and I know
there was just one time, Kent.
there was one time that we can't even discuss.
It was an accident.
It was a slip of the tongue that came off it was very unfortunate.
Right, Freudian slip all the way, but we lost
Freudian.
It
it.
wasn't even Freudian slip.
Wait, it was purposeful?
no. Like Freudian means there's like a deeper meaning associated. This was just.
Yeah, no, it's Freudian. It is all the way Freudian. But we laughed for about 10 minutes, and it was so much wasted time and us giggling. We couldn't even get over it, so I did have to cut some of that.
Yeah.
But
But yes, you can get uncut shows
Yes.
on Patreon as well.
You can.
Also, I want to bring up that we had, and we can do it. This isn't just me talking. We can talk about this in general, but we had 13 guests approximately.
Oh, nice.
So we had
quite a
Sam.
few.
We had Sam Spencer and Adrian on our 150th show, our anniversary
okay.
show.
and our bacon bit.
Yeah, we had Dan Farnsworth on our Michael Bay show when Jacob was too sick to move.
Were you really too sick, or did you just not want to talk about Michael Bay?
A little of both, probably. No, I was too sick, and I was like not sad at all to miss that one. I'm like, there's one I'm going to miss. Might as well be this one.
show. That's awesome.
Abby, Freya, and Renee were on our mom show,
Yes.
which we'll talk about more, I'm assuming. Lindsay was both on our Man Crush and Girl Crush show.
So good. What a trooper.
Abe Yospi was on our How to Dad show. Ryan Farron. Oh, we had our patrons, our first couple patrons. We had Ryan Farron on our Robot show, Casey Smith on our 20 Questions show, and of course, Zach helping us out in the background on every one that Jacob couldn't handle on his own.
Is that what you're going to say? Jacob put all that hard work in. You're going to say just couldn't
I
handle
mostly
it.
just invite him so he can give me those nice shoulder rubs while I'm talking. It's very relaxing.
Oh, that's why you fell asleep. I see. I see. So also, here's a fun fact as well. We have 173 family friendlies uttered this season.
Wow. Did you get that from Reverse
Yeah,
Listener?
how do you know
I got
that?
it from Reverse Listener.
Okay.
Reverse Listener's been keeping track of us all year. And by the way,
He does
Not-
have crazy
not creepy
stats.
at all.
Reverse Listener is kind of a jerk. Can I say that? Yeah, well, it's reverse listener, so I can, because the listener is like the one we're trying to please, right?
Adrian. Yes, Adrian.
Yes.
So are you saying, like, what do you mean? Like, his persona's a jerk on social media? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that too, but really, he is scoring if our episodes are tier 1, 2, or 3.
I know. I kind of like that he just makes that judgment call.
No, but it's rude because I'm going through, and by the way, and I want to get your guys' quality score on how this season.
I need to pull it up and see what he wrote.
But like, I looked at season 1, and he was really pleased with us, and he or she was really pleased with us in season 1, and gave us a lot of tier 1 episodes. This one, we were probably 53% tier 2 episodes.
What?
Tier 1 was next, slightly above tier 3 episodes.
That's fair.
And I was like, wow.
Welcome to season 4.
No, I really like this season though. Like, I would give this season a 72% good and a 28% okay.
Is this a Rotten Tomatoes score?
This is the Kent the brain
Wait, so
score.
is that 72% and then 28%? Is that like 10% bad?
Okay, would you say this is a Rotten Tomatoes or a Metacritic score?
This is a Kentacritic.
Okay.
Yes.
Kent is a critic.
Yeah. And whereas last season we were 71%
Every
good.
Kent's a
So you
critic.
think we improved by 1% this year?
1%.
Wow.
Slight
1%
improvement.
growth. I like
Yes.
that.
All right.
What about you guys? Do you think it was a
No, okay, so it's funny. I always say that we peaked in season 2 because that's when we met Kate Baconsale, and it was awesome because that was
Yeah.
like the big highlight. But as I was going through the list of this last season's episodes, I kept thinking, oh, yeah, that show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that show.
I will say this. There was some filler, and we knew it. We knew there were some weeks where we're like,
We had 2 babies. there were 2 Baconsale babies.
And I'm pregnant, yes.
Yeah, there were 2 Baconsale babies born during the course of the season.
That's
Yes.
true.
Not from me. It was actually a slow year. We only had one.
that was a 1 month for you.
But Jacob had a baby, I had a baby, and so we had to front load a couple episodes. So we had to have a couple episodes,
Yeah.
and then we were like, okay, we'll just put this episode in here, we'll record 2 real quick,
Yeah.
and then we'll be able to coast a little bit.
Because if anyone doesn't know, we go week to week. Like, we don't record like 4 at a time.
No.
We just try to make it as relevant as possible, even though this is all stuff from 25 years
We
ago
just
that we're
steal
talking
from
about.
our own sleep once a week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every
absolutely.
week to do
It's
this.
an excuse to hang out.
It is.
So I don't know. What would you say about quality? Because I will actually say we've had some of our best episodes of all time this season.
Really?
Of all time.
Yes.
See, now I judge it by how
Look
many
forward to hearing what
times
those are.
I look at the season as judging it by how many inside jokes have been created and
Okay.
will continue.
Right.
Like, for example, we talk about the Night Before Christmas show on a regular basis.
Yes.
Or the America show on a regular basis. And so when we do different references, such as Mother, bring me another bowl of cereal. Like, that was the very beginning of this episode.
You just turned into Dracula there, by the way.
This season?
Bring me.
Yes.
It is the season. Also, finger boops originated this season.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Isn't that
kind of-
cute?
Was it this season?
It
Yeah,
was
it
the
was.
first episode, I think, of this season.
Because we always did high fives, but then it
Cursed
became
that
finger
episode.
boops. And then we did not give you finger boops, but then you and I exclusively gave each other finger boops.
I've never given you
I
a finger
really hope
poke,
no
I'm
one's
sure of
listening
it.
to this episode as their first Baconsale episode, because that's going to be weird.
Don't worry about it.
By the way, our longest episode, you guys want to take a guess of the season?
I think it was one of the music ones.
Hour 50.
I'm going to say it was the first New Wave bracket one.
Episode 181, the Tournament of 80s One-Hit Wonders, Part 1, 1 hour, 55 minutes. Woo! Which is not our longest. Our longest is still, I think it's 90s Alternative. The first round was like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something.
Gross.
And our shortest episode, you want to guess our shortest episode?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Prisoner of Azkaban. 1 hour,
Oh,
1 hour
yeah.
even. That was our deep
You're
dive.
welcome.
That was our deep dive into
Yeah.
the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
So much anger in that episode.
Yeah.
There was a lot of anger in that episode.
Our
We'll talk
average-
about that.
Our average episode length was 73 minutes, which actually seems short for this season.
It does.
Only 73?
Yeah, only
That can't be
70.
Is that
right.
including bacon bits?
Oh, yeah, it is including bacon bits.
Because we went almost an
Yeah.
hour and a half every episode. I want to get back to the tight hour, guys.
we make it
All right.
there.
We might do
honestly.
it. We might do
Yes.
it.
Yeah. Our most viewed video, because we do Facebook Lives as well, was
Indeed.
an unpleasant conversation where we were asking people to give us topics to defend.
Right.
And people were giving lots of hilarious suggestions. And then we ended up picking Michael Bay. And our most listened episode, you guys want to guess for our most listened episode from last season?
I'm
season
going
4?
to go. It's got to be something with good SEO traction.
Yeah, I want to look this up, but I'm resisting.
I'm going to say Women Crush. Or sorry, yeah.
It's fairly new.
Is it? Oh, it is.
Yeah, that was only like a month ago.
And it's not. Okay. I have
It
no idea.
was episode 140, Cereal Podcast,
Really?
where we talked about
Really?
sugary cereals.
I'm telling you, when we talk about food, it always seems to connect.
It does. People like when we talk about food. So that was a fun one to do. And the most engagement on social media was actually, it was a random one we did. It was a teaser question where I said, how do you feel when you're listening to Baconsale? Reply only in GIFs.
Right.
And we had a little GIF party in there and people were enjoying it. And apparently that was one of the most engaged posts we had.
Yeah.
So
Although, like
thank you for
on a normal episode, we did have two. One I want to save for like the most engagement on an actual show, but the second highest was actually the love song one that we did.
Yeah.
And it had like thousands. We didn't even pay for anything. It's like 1.4 thousand engagements on this one.
On the love songs one. People
Or reviews, and
people
then,
connected to that one
yes.
as well. Also, I want to bring this up just because I like to bring it up. I checked, and Kate Beckinsale still follows us on Twitter.
Oh, that's good to know.
But she hasn't tweeted since 2016. But she's still following us!
She probably looks. It's like the people that don't post, but they still look at everything else
It's
they really
true. On
care
social-
about.
She's
So
probably like
there's
Twitter
two-
so 2015.
There's two types of people on social media. Stalkers and talkers.
Ooh.
And so...
And mockers. There's got to be mockers.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Not just
but
talkers.
they're talking. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like, but I mean, it's people that either just scroll a bunch and read people's stuff, and people that post a lot.
That's kind of me on Twitter, honestly.
You stalk?
Yeah, I stalk.
Me too.
Yeah. No, you post fair enough. Yeah, fair
I
amount.
post, but I scroll a lot more than I ever post.
Yeah.
Like I'm checking social media
yeah.
daily.
Jake, what are you?
I respond to people that mention me sometimes.
You look for notifications when possible.
Sometimes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So yes, this is kind of what the episode's going to be like, just kind of a look back. We do have some categories though as well. Can any other stats you want to throw out?
Nope. Good there.
Let's jump to some
Let's do
categories,
this.
Jacob.
All right, guys, let's start with the goals we set for last year.
Because yeah, we did our look back at season 3. We looked back at season 3 and then looked forward to season 4, what we'd
Yes.
like to do.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on these because I didn't really reach my goals. So moving on. I said I wanted to write the musical.
Yeah, oh, right.
Baconsale the musical or podcast the musical, one of the two. But here's the thing. I made friends with theater people, and theater people are good at singing and music.
Theater people are weird.
So you're going to recruit people? Is that what
I am totally going to recruit
I say
people.
that as a theater person. I just got
little
done
bit.
performing tonight.
So that is a goal that has always been in the back of my head. It has been a really busy year for various amount of reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Are we
secondary.
going to get into that?
We may. We'll see. And secondary, I wanted to write a pitch that matters. But once again, the year's been so busy, I haven't had any time to write, or I've been too lazy to write. And so I haven't really cared to even the pitch show that I had all year, we saved till October. And then I spent maybe 2 days on it. So
Nice.
I still want to write a pitch and send it to Hollywood. I just haven't done it. What about you?
I'm talking about Baconsale goals. Like
Oh, yeah, those. Oh, I was thinking about myself.
No.
Yeah, I want to lose a little bit of weight.
No, like last time we said, hey, we want the mom show.
Yes.
Check.
did that?
Do we want Kate Beckinsale on the show? Not yet.
Except for you've really warmed up.
Yeah, you have.
Because last season you were like, I was like, can we get Kate on the show? And Jake let it out and said, actually, Joel doesn't want Kate on the show because it's just.
No,
Yeah.
it was more that he said, well, that's the thing. Is
No, I called you out since
You
you've
did?
been
Yeah.
you've been the downer about this.
I listened to this episode twice, Jacob.
Okay.
And I said, well, no, as soon as we got her on social media, you're like, I'm going to talk to her. And I'm like, no. And then I said, yeah, go for it, Jacob. Go through proper channels and we'll see if we can get her.
Got to strike while the iron's hot. And you never said that.
Yes, I did.
No, you said, no, I don't want her on the show
but
yet.
he was the
I said it
gatekeeper.
twice.
He was
I said
controlling.
So you said it on the show, but then you took it back after. Is what you're
No,
saying.
I said proper channels multiple times on the show. I'm like, proper channels, go ahead.
You mean proper channels, meaning
Go
get
through a
your
publicist.
approval. And then
No, go through a publicist. That's what I
Oh,
said.
they don't
here's-
respond.
Jacob, I listened to the thing twice.
Joel, here's the problem: is she was single, she got divorced. I was single, and we didn't meet up because Jake wasn't allowed to bring her on the show because he didn't follow a proper channel.
I didn't want
Exactly,
to scare her
exactly.
off. She's like, follow us on Twitter. He's like, I'm going to DM her. I'm like, no, don't.
I'll slide into her DMs.
No, stop. It's such a creepy phrase.
Gen Z says it.
He means it. He means it as a creep.
Creepy phrase. Musical show, nope. Live show, not yet. Deep dive. Jacob, you had a goal to do a deep dive.
And we did.
Check.
Nice.
Brandon Mole, no. Although I did talk to him just recently, and he said, yeah, come up with a topic, and I'll do it. So we
Okay.
got to come up with a topic.
Perfect.
Parenting show with Abe, check.
Nice.
And then YouTube show, check. Although we didn't get Lindsay Sterling on for the YouTube show. Sorry, Kent.
That's all right. Proper channels, Jake.
I
Follow
did.
them.
No, I
had the
actually
proper
I reached out
channel.
to Lindsay Sterling. I reached out to her publicist.
And
No response.
But didn't you have Lieb?
yeah, but Lee was like her first boyfriend.
Yeah. So like, hey, I have friends that have
He
a podcast.
actually, do you know what he did? He
What?
said, "Oh, I've got her number right here. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Don't do that to me. It's
So you-
inappropriate."
after you got it, what did you do?
I just looked at it. I get nervous. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What is the episode you wish that you could redo?
Now, there are episodes I wish we could redo, and there are moments I wish I could redo.
Ooh.
And for myself, the episode I wish we could redo is Return to Pitch Mountain. And we tried this new thing with this one where we wanted listener pitches, which was like the biggest mistake. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm pulling a Kent is what I'm doing. No, but here's what I wish
Your
we did.
Kent brain is working?
Yes, my Kent
That's what he
brain.
says when he passes gas.
Jake, come on. Here's what I wish we did. I do wish we started with our stories first, because I do think people are coming to listen to Baconsale and they weren't quite sure or didn't quite trust the stories we were reading. Also, even though our interruptions were funny, we totally couldn't even get through stories at all because we interrupted the entire time.
True.
And so it's like the
So
stories
you think
were
you
just...
would not do that?
I would change
That's
it a
hard
little
to
bit.
imagine.
I would start big and then read their stories with
Kent
scary
saying,
music.
I'd start better and then go to the listeners.
No. I'm saying, and I would have
We're
given...
so much better. Our pitches are so... My pitch was about Monopoly.
I would... Well, yours was, yeah.
Yours was about stairs.
Joel. I would have... No, what I'm saying is I would have given proper respect to the listeners and made comments afterwards.
No, but it was so fun in the moment. Otherwise,
Shakoos.
we wouldn't have gotten that. Would have gotten
I know, but I feel like we were just so disrespectful, which I'm being right now.
But they got to know if they put stuff into Baconsale, we're going to
Yes.
Baconsale it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's going to
what we
get
do.
like we give them the same treatment.
That's
Or
fair.
you know what
That's
I'd do?
fair.
I'd probably just shorten the show a little bit, because once again, it was an
It
hour
was a
and a
long
half.
show. It was a long
Yes.
show. So,
All right, what about you guys?
one of mine. This sounds weird, but I wish that I could go back to the vampire show.
Why
because
that episode is great.
I didn't like it for me personally. Like I liked the episode, but for my performance, I had so much information that I wanted to share because I did
Right.
so much research that I found myself killing the flow of the show because I'm like, and I have this fact about how how the vampire, and I have this fact, and I have this fact, and I have this fact, and I was like, Joel, turn off the fire hose.
Right.
So I was kind of bugged at myself. That was my runner-up. My number one, though, I wish I could redo, was The Prisoner of Azkaban, episode 159.
Why, Joel?
Yeah, why is that?
Because I knew every blinking answer that Jacob threw our way. I just wasn't fast enough on the buzzer because
Fast finger.
I kept waiting for the question to be ended so that the listener could actually hear what the question was.
That's how you lose.
So instead of Jacob be going, what was done? And then it's like, what was the question?
Well, then I finished the question.
Not a lot of times Kent just answered.
I just knew the answer.
But do you know what they did on Life on the
That's
Rocks,
true.
please?
What?
And I like this, Jacob.
Yes.
This is a good idea. I want you to
Okay,
bring
let's
this.
hear it.
So what they did was you could buzz in at any time, but if you buzzed in before the question was over and got it wrong, you would lose points.
And so I got gun shy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And
But
I
no, that
creamed
episode
him.
was
I
great
creamed
because
him on that show.
in that episode, Joel's like, I've watched this movie 17 times and I've been studying for days. I'm like, I watched it 3 times and I looked at a few quizzes and I came out just
He came out
super
swinging.
strong.
I was so frustrated in
Yes.
that episode because I was like, I know the answers.
And it turned out to be pretty
Yeah.
even, actually. But it was a fun show. But I feel the stress of quiz shows while we do them because we've been really nice to each other this season, Joel.
Screw you.
Up until this point. And yeah,
Sorry,
it's just,
kids.
yeah, exactly. But like I hate when there's a little bit of tension, and in those quiz shows, like we don't talk at all.
Like we don't banter?
No, we don't banter.
I know because we're competitors at that
I know,
point.
but
Yeah.
like I start to feel bad if I'm a couple points ahead.
No, here's what happens.
Yeah,
though.
it gets kind of silent.
Yes.
Here's what
It's
happens
serious.
though, is that when I get grumpy, which happens periodically on the show, Kent will be like, Joel, I love you. Joel,
It's so
Joel, we're buddies. Joel.
It helps, right? That tone.
No!
That tone helps.
And that's Kent's peacemaker coming out.
Is there anything that helps though, Joel? Honestly,
No, at that point, it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm one step away from burning this whole cave down.
What about when I try to like reach for your arm and just like slide it? Hey, you just try to swap my hand. Okay, that doesn't work. Apparently, I'm sorry.
Don't touch me.
do you know what I'd like to redo? I'd like to redo, and not because I think it was terrible, but I just really want to go at it again. Is the choose your own
Fast food nightmare?
Fast food nightmare.
fast food
Or
nightmare.
the dating one. We did choose your own dating, and we did choose your own fast food nightmare.
I don't really want to redo the dating, although I would have liked to do it better. But that one,
What would you have done differently in the fast food nightmare?
I really needed to play it through once and needed to kind of slow down. And there was just a few like small elements that would have made a huge impact on it. Also found out that you didn't know anything about Alice in Chains. So
That was
my
it.
joke
That
wasn't
was the
ruined.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying
Yeah.
to do this inside joke about here comes the rooster, and I was like, it's gone. I don't know.
Yeah,
what you're
and
talking
Kent knew
about.
the reference. I should have just switched the joke around. No, there was a few things where
So you need to quiz us on our Alice in Chains knowledge before you do the next one.
that's actually the next episode.
Alice Jane's episode?
Yeah.
Great.
First episode without Joel.
But for me, there are a few moments, like, for example, the Fry episode, Lord of the Fries. The Friday song, this was going to be a surprise for you guys.
It was a surprise.
No, but here's the thing.
We're like, hey, can we come over a little early? Ken's like, no. I gotta do something. You can't come over.
I'm at my house, and there are people upstairs, and I'm like, oh no, I got to record this. And I wanted to go full Rebecca Black on this one. But because there are people, I didn't want them to hear me. So
They
sitting
know
there.
you upstairs.
I know, but I'm still sitting on the carpet recording this on my mic, and I'm all, you gotta go upstairs. It's time to go. It's Friday.
You're so quiet on the song.
And the timing didn't match up, and I look back at that, and I'm like, you could have done so much better.
But it was such a pleasant surprise. That was actually one of my favorite moments. Is when I'm like, wait, what? You recorded
did
a song?
Yeah. Pre-recorded the song.
Yeah.
And then also, I had so many bad roles on Choose Your Own First Date that, like, Joel was easily the better Kent. And it made me really, really sad.
Sad or mad?
Well, sad, because
Or
I was
glad.
a bad dater.
You were a bad dater?
In life, too.
No, you're a good dater.
Oh, my thing's pale.
You went on that date the other day. I was so proud of you.
Yeah.
I can't believe you said those 3 little words to her.
You mean, are you hangry?
Do you say that to your dates?
Sometimes.
Have you ever asked a date if she's hangry?
Yeah, of course. You
doesn't-
haven't?
No, that doesn't go over well.
No, but it's way better than being like, oh, are you just, like, pissed right now? It's like, are you hangry?
So you don't ask that.
I try to give her a
It's
hug.
all becoming clear now.
It's a little bit.
I try to give her a hug, and she's like, oh, hi. And I'm like, oh, you're hangry, right?
You're angry. Yeah.
What do you mean you don't want to kiss? You're hangry, probably. I just took you to dinner. I don't know what your problem is.
No biting.
Guys, no
Or as Jacob says, no teeth.
No teeth.
Not to you.
Yeah.
All right, kind of along the same lines. What's the show that you guys wish had happened but did not?
Honestly, I wish we would have got the Dr. Matt show. We were going to do a What Would Baconsale Do with him psychoanalyzing us or even coming up with the questions.
Because we try to do one of those per season, and also bringing Dr. Matt back is kind of like a regular thing.
And we were going to have Dr. Matt back on the show, but then he actually tried to psychoanalyze Jacob, and I was like, whoa, too far, Dr. Matt, too far.
I mean, it really is too far going into your brain, though, because
It's a great. It's warm in here, Kent. You'll really like it.
no,
Warm like Kent's heart?
No,
I don't want to go there.
No, the truth is, like, it just schedules didn't line up. We couldn't get Dr. Matt to work, but we're in talks with him. We hope to get him back in the next
I
season.
really do like the idea of him joining for What Would Baconsale Do, though.
I think it'd be fun. Well, to have psychologists come up with the questions.
Yeah, or at least like I team up and try to figure that out when we torture you guys. That's going to be awesome.
No, we're going to have him back. I mean, he is a fan favorite. So
Did we do a What Would Baconsale Do this season?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Well, look
That's
at
because we were
us.
waiting for Dr. Matt. I was.
It would have been a really great episode for me. And I had someone here on this podcast fought this very hard, but I wanted there to be a Disney animated sequel tiering show.
I didn't fight you hard. I'm just like, I don't want to watch all these crud movies.
Well, they're crud movies, but like I really like. I'm about to explain to you guys why King of Thieves is much better than Return of Jafar.
No.
Like we're going there.
No, I don't. Okay.
I think season 5 we're gonna do because we've done so many Disney shows, right?
Look.
And we have Disney friends now that
Yes.
can really like help us out.
But the problem is, it's a time investment, and I don't want to waste my time.
Think about watching Mulan
Disney
2
sequels
or
No!
Pocahontas: The New World.
That's time I could be spending actually talking with my children.
Lion King and its
What a
many
waste.
sequels.
It's just going to be. Oh, that one's going to be bad. We'll probably end up doing it next season.
We will,
but
it'll be one of those weeks where like we just got to do something. Let's do it.
we just binge watch them.
Yes.
Okay, so for the next category, guys, I want to do the show where you were wrong about something.
Either wrong about the show or wrong about a thing in the show, right?
Yeah, either one.
Yeah, I was wrong on things in shows because I don't have regrets about doing certain episodes. But this is a bacon bit. I was overly excited about First Man. We talked about this in our year-end show. Mm-hmm. Of course, it was number 1 for us both.
Yeah.
And then we did the bacon bit, and it was First Man. Yeah.
It was meh.
First meh.
First
Nah.
meh. The Mount Rushmore of summer movies. I was like, this is so complicated.
Right.
We're doing a national monument, but then we're doing a personal
backyard
monument.
monument.
That
And
ended
then,
up being a
like,
fun show.
But it was. It ended up being a really entertaining show. It
I was with you, actually. I was very skeptical of that one. I was like, this isn't making sense.
Well, the funny thing was about that one was we were having this conversation. I think this is one of the ones where we were trying to fill a show before a bigger show.
Yes.
And Kent and Jacob and I were messaging back and forth, and Kent and Jacob and I were like, we could do this. Hey, we could do this. We could do this. And then Kent would be like, what about Mount Rushmore? And we're like, or we could do this. We could do this. Hey, guys, Mount Rushmore.
No, it's probably
That's
we do
right.
this?
Guys,
That was the longest thread
Mount
ever.
Rushmore.
I remember that.
can we do my show idea?
Yeah, he really wanted Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. And we did it, and
It was fun. I really enjoyed
Did he
it.
say fine or fun?
fine.
And it was fine.
It was fine.
Fine. No, it was fun to do that one too, and I think there may be some Mount Rushmore shows planned for next season already.
Yes.
Also, I want to bring up the Women Crush show.
I was about to say that as well.
Because I thought there would be blowback. When Kent first pitched it, which was last season, when he's like, guys, we need to rank women.
Here's the thing.
No, Kent, no.
We've already ranked Disney princesses, and for some reason, that's a go-to episode when they pull up like the Baconsale registry, right? They're like, oh, Disney princess, that will be a fun show, and we rank Disney princesses. So when we talked about like ranking women,
So we ranked fictional characters, so you thought, hey, how about we do real people?
let's get
Let's
real
rank real
shallow.
people. Yeah.
And I wasn't sure how the show was going to go. We knew the format couldn't be like your top 5 hotties in Hollywood, right?
No.
And we were even thinking maybe doing a bracket.
That was on the Pacon bit, I think.
Yeah, probably was.
Yeah,
but we're thinking of doing a bracket of like classic beauties and that sort of thing. And it kind of just evolved to what we had, a category show, but also with our guest, which I think really helped us out.
Lindsay Higby.
And possibly the order we did the show in.
Now, that was the stroke of genius that Kent had, was that he said, okay, guys.
We're really giving away like all the behind the scenes.
Oh, this is the free talk show.
Sorry, ladies.
But no, Kent said the only way we're going to be able to do this is if we do a Man Crush show too, to be equal.
Yes.
And then he said, and we're going to do that one first. And I think that set the tone.
I got some grand wizard over here.
But no, it made sense because then it was like, if we do the Man Crush show first, and it's like, no, this is fun.
Because every time we talked about it, we're like, no, let's do this woman show, this rating women show, basically. I'm like, no.
Kept calling it.
No. And then Ken's like, it's okay, we're going to rate men first.
And that's why I was wrong about it, because I was like, I don't know if it's going to fly. But then both the Man Crush show and the Women Crush show were so much fun.
Well, and the reality is that we handled them both the same. You know, we talked about men exactly the same way. There wasn't anything.
In fact, I think we were more
there was no gender
derogatory about
stereotype.
men.
We might have been.
We did.
Right.
I was going to say we didn't give a best abs category to the women, which I think was just unfair.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah.
It wasn't equal at all. But no, and thank you to Lindsay as well for like honestly like playing it up so much and being so involved, like caring so much about the list. Because that show, both those shows were just magic. I thought.
And then also just want to bring up the French fry show and the Burger King show, because both of those I was like, it's kind of a meh.
We didn't
topic.
think anyone would care about the Burger King show
or the fry show. I was like, the fry show. We're talking about fries. They're potatoes. But both
we've
of those
done that
shows
before.
Both of those shows were
people
actually
got
very
into it.
successful.
Yeah.
People were very passionate. And then Burger King, I think, was just funny because the whole drunk cowboy mentality of Burger King about
Still
their marketing
going.
department.
Yes.
I still laugh about that every time Burger King comes up with something new, like, "Hey, drive into the parking lot of McDonald's and we'll give you $1 Whopper."
Penny Whopper.
Penny Whopper.
Yes.
Yeah, penny.
And then we messaged each other, just said drunk cowboy.
That's all you need to say.
Yeah.
You know
And
that's
I
going to
did
be
do
a
it.
name of a burger soon. Drunk Cowboy.
The drunk cowboy.
Yes.
It's got
I'd buy that.
Bourbon sauce on it.
It's,
of onion
it's
rings.
actually just a Whopper, but with barbecue sauce.
Does it change any colors having to do
No,
with any
we're not
sort of
gonna get
waste?
into that.
Any excrement.
We already
color
talked about
changing.
that.
But still.
Stop!
We did meet up and we did get that slushy.
The thing Joel doesn't like here is actually Kent's hand motions while he's talking.
It looks like I'm stirring a witch's brew over here.
What does that have to do? Is that your stomach churning?
And a toilet bowl.
Oh. I'm sorry, kids.
Okay. Is that all for that one?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Next category is, what was the surprise hit episode? What's the one we didn't see coming?
I think it's maybe...
We kind of just said that, didn't we?
Kind of, except
Maybe
for
Burger King.
Those were fine. Those did well. But
Yes.
I was going to say that it was the plain cereal episode.
That's true. That's true.
That's one that we did the sugary cereal first, all the fun kid cereals.
Well,
that
I
we
was
all
totally
loved.
against doing the plain cereal one. I'm like, this is going to be the worst show of the year.
Remember, we did the sugar cereal show and we left room for the plain cereal show, but even we joked about in the intro.
It was going to be like a B-list
Yeah,
show.
we're like, we'll eventually do that. Haha. Yeah, right.
But then we found out how insane the world of plain cereal could be.
Yes.
No kidding.
The backstories of cornflakes and wheat checks.
Here's what I picture.
Yeah.
There's
Grape nuts.
There's an HBO series called Sanitarium out there, or they're just going to call it Kellogg's. And it is literally about some insane asylum where all these plain cereal developers live and work.
the origins of all the
Honestly,
mainstream cereals we
because
know
it's kind
today.
of true.
It is. It is.
And yeah, I don't know if any fans of Baconsale have been able to buy wheat checks after that episode aired.
That was a great episode. I might go back for that one.
It was a surprise hit.
Although I got to tell you, I have been eating more and more cornflakes lately for personal reasons.
Family friendly. Family friendly.
I'm like,
I don't know.
what kind of jab do I make? I don't know. He's kind
I
of
have
stunned
to family
himself.
friendly that, even though it doesn't sound like I have to, I have to. What about you guys? Surprise hit episodes.
That's one.
You picked the cereal
I
one
had
too?
so much fun with that one is because even we were 2 days before that show, and we put in a fair amount of research, especially you. And I'm going, Joel, I don't know if you're finding what I'm finding, but this is incredible stuff.
Crazy stuff happening.
Yes,
in
I
plain
love that
cereals.
episode.
That was a fun one.
Actually, you know what? Another surprise hit show? The Mom Show.
You think that was a surprise hit?
Yeah, I was worried about that one. I was worried about the content working out on that or it being listenable at all.
I actually agree because we were there recording and it was a hilarious show, but we have so much, and that should have been an uncut show, honestly.
Well, in that one,
There's so much there, and we didn't know if it would actually work. In fact, we had a false start. We had to start the show
experimental.
We lost about 20 minutes to begin with because they just weren't talking into the mics, and they were like so sweet.
they were nervous.
They're like, oh, hi. Yes.
I mean, we kind of knew that would happen because they didn't know what to do. And then 20 minutes in of doing it, they're like, okay, let's just get this going.
Totally.
But it is tricky, too, when it's like, hey, here's the podcast of Baconsale. We're not going to have any of the hosts of Baconsale talk.
No, it's very tricky. Very tricky.
It was a kind of a risky move, but people
we got really good feedback
people
from that
really
one.
liked it. That was actually probably one of the favorite ones of the season.
So my 9-year-old actually says, yeah, so you had grandma on the show. When's it time for Baconsale kids to have their own show? And I said, that's adorable. Jake's daughter is like 4 months old, so let's wait about 10 more years. So season 14.
Oh, my kids are chomping at the
when
bit
she's
to
like
get that
20.
show, too.
Yeah, exactly. She's 20. And it'll be, what's your
20,
favorite movie? Yeah.
We could have a Baconsale sibling show. You talk about us as kids.
Oh, no. I don't dare. I really don't dare.
Because they would be kind of brutal.
No,
right?
my brother would be the worst.
That actually
He'd be
pretty
so
entertaining.
mean.
It would be funny, wouldn't it?
Yes.
You have a sister in town?
Not in town, but I have a sister.
Next time she's in town, let's talk about it. Sibling
Okay.
show.
All right.
Oh,
I have to
jeez.
choose
I don't dare. I don't dare.
Wait, okay. Which sibling would you choose to come on the show?
My sweet sister Molly, because my brother would rip me apart.
I want his brother. What's your brother's name?
I'm not saying.
Give me his email address.
Okay.
All right, next up, what's your favorite bacon bit?
Now, the Bacon Bits, a lot of times they're reviews, but occasionally we'll do random topics.
Yes. Especially before we started doing Bacon Bits, which kind of became off-the-cuff discussions. And so we went for, longer form discussions on Bacon Bits.
Yeah.
So, Joel, what's yours?
Well, one of the ones I wanted to bring up, at least, was when we talked about movie spoilers and trailers.
Oh.
Because it came with a challenge for you, Kent.
Yes.
Where I challenged Kent to not watch anything new relating to Avengers Infinity War.
I saw one trailer, and that was it.
That was it. But you already knew a lot about it.
Yes.
But now he still is in the process of not watching or reading anything about Aquaman.
It makes me so mad. I mean, look, I haven't had the same passion for comic book movies this year, but Aquaman is one that I
You've
really
loved
want to
Aquaman
see.
for a long time.
Yes, I've
Like,
always
it's
been an
your
Aquaman
thing.
supporter.
Yeah.
Kit, I don't get the same thrill you do just watching some mostly naked man underwater.
Those are scales. He wears scales.
No, Jason Momoa was basically shirtless most of the movie.
Yeah.
He has double abs. He has abs on abs.
But I was going to say, you haven't watched it, though.
No. And there was a
watching
5-minute
trailers,
There was
yeah.
a 5-minute extended featurette, and people were like, actually, it's much better than the first trailer. And I'm like, probably is. I can't watch
That
it.
wouldn't take much.
I'm just interested to see how that plays out because, while this is the season finale, we are
Right.
thinking
So
about having
you have not seen that first trailer.
I've seen the first trailer, and that is all.
That's all I've seen.
Because I was kind of driven to watch it. And, honestly, like superhero movies, I've kind of lost favor with them, even though there's a good one that just barely came out. And there are 2 X-Men movies that were meant to come out, like Dark Phoenix, that whole story. It's delayed till next year.
They pushed it?
Yeah, they pushed it. And then New Mutants, which is a rated R X-Men.
What?
Jake, here's the thing. You can't be excited for this one because it's rated R. You are not old enough to see this movie.
What do you mean I'm not old enough to watch X-Men?
I'm pretty sure R-rated just means 17, Kent.
I did maturity-wise.
Maturity-wise.
Yeah.
I'm a young 36.
That's pretty much it.
No,
But,
but there haven't been, superhero movies have been a little this year, and a lot of them haven't been pushed to next year because they weren't ready.
we have seen it.
What are you talking about? We have a Best Picture nominee.
For my favorite Bacon bit, honestly, it came early in the year, and it was A Wrinkle in Time. Do you know why?
Why?
Is because, the experience of seeing that movie with you, feeling like I was on, we were watching Laser Zeppelin together, Laser Doors.
Hey, Laser Zeppelin would be better than A Wrinkle in Time.
So much better. But it felt like we were high. In fact, you were passing me a fake blunt while we were watching that movie.
I don't recall that.
He passes me fake blunts all the time.
Family friendly.
And then when we reviewed it, For Jake, we tried to explain giant space opera.
It was so funny.
And
It was funny.
just explaining that to someone who's never, like, you can't grasp it unless you see it.
No, I tell you, you guys explained it so vividly. I have nearly watched that movie just to understand, but I can't quite talk myself into
Right.
it.
So that was my
if you
favorite.
get kicked in the head
Yeah.
by a mule, you'll almost have seen that movie.
Pretty much.
Bright colors, bright flashes of light,
Leaf monsters.
leaf monsters. I was also going to bring up the Killer Dad bracket.
Oh, was that a bacon bit?
That was a bacon bit.
Oh, that's a good
because
bacon bit.
we had that one for last year's Father's Day show, but then we weren't able to do it, so then it got held over for an entire year, and then it came up. I'm like, guys, we got to do it.
Yeah.
And then we did a Killer Dad bracket of like the assassin TV dads. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that one as well.
I really enjoyed that we did a Team Listener versus Team JK during
After the 150th show.
And then we won, like, barely, and I think we sort of cheated.
You
but
didn't
we
cheat at
didn't.
all.
Well, it wouldn't
No,
be
no,
kids.
there was an asterisk on the final answer because it was like a new kids question, and I think
Oh
they
yeah,
kind
it was
of
like who was in the New Kids, and then it was like
Yes.
technically this person was in, but they weren't in.
That's right.
They
They
weren't
was
the
our
first
first
they went
record.
for like 17
No,
of the
then we
Wahlbergs.
redid it so that one wasn't on the line, right? Isn't that what happened? Then you guys just won?
I don't know, but I remember a lot of people were upset, even though we won.
There was like Wikipedia articling going on.
Yeah.
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 Also, I wanted to point out that Baconsale made a difference in the world in that our Bacon bit, where we talked about fixing the Oscars and why the most popular category was a mistake, they ended up taking away the most popular category from
Right
the Oscars.
after our episode.
Right
aired.
after episode dropped.
Crazy, right?
It was
So
us.
It was us. It was totally us.
Finger boop. Boop, boop. Jake, finger boop.
I don't do that.
Jake, finger boop.
Too far away.
I'll double boop you.
Boop, boop, boop. Well done.
That's just every Friday night. That's a quadruple boop there.
I messed it up.
It's a quadruple boop.
Quadruple boop.
Yep.
It sounds like a rim shot.
Yeah, they got me like snorting over here. All right, favorite cover art.
Ooh, see now Kent.
Oh, I don't know, guys. Let's talk about how awesome I am really quick.
Let's
Joel, should
talk
we just
about this.
move on from this one? I mean, they were
No,
okay
this is
this
what
year,
I wanna
right?
give- I wanna give
really
credit-
a big downturn.
I want to
from-
give credit where credit is due because there have been a lot of really good ones this season.
This has been one of my favorite seasons for cover art.
Women Crush.
honestly.
Women Crush was so well done because
yeah.
it was an elegant picture.
It was very
It
tasteful.
had a very Pinterest feel to it.
And it
Yeah.
said "Live, Laugh, Baconsale" on the wall.
Kid is
Yes.
liking this. Hitchcock.
I really am.
Hitchcock, definitely. The silhouettes.
Yeah.
That's been on our shirts now at tpublic.com. But
It's one of the more simple ones, but it's just iconic imagery that was
Maybe
easily transferable.
easily. It could be on a billboard one day.
Yes,
Good,
possibly.
hypothetically.
I also really like, for some reason, I loved us in the cereal bowl for the
Cereal
episode,
podcast
Yeah,
was
the cereal
amazing.
podcast, episode
Yes.
140.
We did a whole photo shoot where we sat up. Our arms weren't hanging off anything, but we tried to make it look like we were leaning them on the edge of the cereal bowl. So our photo shoot, I could share this to Facebook one day. It's so
Maybe
good.
share it on Patreon.
Joel's doing like finger pointers, finger guns, like the entire time.
That's how that's
amazing.
how I'm sitting right now.
Yes.
Just how I record.
I love that one. Honestly, the one that took so long, probably the one that took me the longest to make,
I'd like to know this.
was United States of Filmerica.
I love United States of America.
Yeah.
But I
That was the picture of the U.S. and
Yes.
each state had a picture of the movie that we selected as the official movie for that state.
and when you're putting a movie into Rhode Island, that's pretty tough.
it is. I bet it is. And that one we actually released as a wallpaper
Yes.
on Patreon. You
Right.
can download it there.
Yeah, so I made a big image and kind of shrunk it down for that one.
What we recorded in the shadows, that was a cool one.
When we're all
Oh, yeah.
vampires.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I've got the hissing face.
Yeah.
Yes.
There.
You look perfect, Joel.
Yeah, Joel, it's
honestly.
actually
Right now or in the picture?
picture. No, I mean all the time.
Also, Return to Pitch Mountain, the cover art for that one, because
Oh,
it had it had
creepy.
the stairway
Oh,
and all
yeah,
the
yeah,
creepy
yeah.
People
all
down
those,
there.
the characters
Little
at the bottom.
baby dummy there.
Yeah,
Baby
so good.
shark. Also, I wanted to bring up. There's so many that I really enjoyed. The hand-drawn superpowers, where you drew us as cartoons.
Oh,
for
yeah.
The,
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
one where
we
you're
cheered superpowers.
where you're really gassy.
yeah, like the,
He's teleporting.
yeah,
You know, I like that one, but it always makes me laugh that Joel has fumes around him.
yeah.
It's teleportation fumes.
That was my band's name in college. Also, high school. I love the high school pictures when we did Sci-Fi High School.
Yes.
because I just love seeing like the
Yeah,
pictures
that
of
is
us
fun
with
to
all
see.
the other people.
Was the baby one this? No, that was last year, right?
The baby one.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was this one with Abe parenting when we were babies.
no, the one where we actually got our 1-year-old pictures. That
Yeah.
was actually,
Oh yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to bring up summer songs. For some reason, that just made me so happy. That was the
Really?
one with the 3 surfboards.
Yeah.
and like Carly Rae Jepsen and like TLC was there, Rocky
Yeah.
and Apollo in the background.
Yeah, I forgot they were there.
That was one where I was like, this really like it looks professional. Like it was so much fun to look at that.
It was
one.
fun.
And then also we mentioned Hitchcock vampires.
It was
and
funny
Woman
because
Crush.
Rihanna was in that summer song picture.
Yes. Yeah.
And I had to cover her with a boombox because her picture was a little inappropriate for audience. And so I purposely put a boombox right there.
See, the things you learn.
Indeed.
But honestly, I love looking, and this is me just patting Kent in the back here. But I love, first of all, the images I think look fantastic.
He prefers finger boobs.
But I love the little
quadra boobs.
Easter eggs you throw in there too. Like for example, in our Hallmark picture we just had, you had little faces of Candace Cameron Bure.
Oh yes, yes.
And Danica McKellar
Lacey
and
Chabert.
Lacey Chabert.
Yeah.
Chabert. I looked it up. It's actually Chabert.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I try to do little Easter eggs. Mostly, it's only you guys that get them. But anytime anytime the listener lets me know, like, oh, I just saw this, I'm like, yay!
And you can see any of these image arts, episode art that we've been talking about on Facebook. We have a whole photo album of them. Also Instagram. All the pictures are there, so you can enjoy those. But yeah, good job, Kent. There you go.
Thanks, guys. I'll include this again next year.
I really love that someone can Google me now and they find all these ridiculous pictures of me.
Yeah. Honestly, if you Google Baconsale and just do an image search, all these images will like pop up.
There's hundreds of images at this point.
Yeah.
You're everywhere. The internet is forever.
I'm doing it now.
All right, guys, what's your favorite Facebook Live? We already talked about the most popular one, but is that your favorite?
It was a good one, but honestly, the most memorable was the Patreon announcement.
Oh, yeah.
We were so nervous. We put in a lot of planning. We also recorded a bacon bit right after as well. And we were all just embarrassed is not the right word. We were nervous. Cautious, nervous, and excited.
Yeah, see.
Yeah,
that was
Cassie,
you.
Your teleportation fumes were in full effect.
Yeah.
Where's Joel?
He's gone.
I'm back.
Oh, here, hey, Joel.
And we wrote the URL on a piece of paper, and we just kept holding that up like we were the most low-budget crew ever.
You guys, we could probably afford now, because of the donations of patrons, to print out a piece of paper instead of just hand drawing one.
Oh, we could probably laminate it with what we can do now.
Don't get crazy.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. But no, I really enjoyed that. That one actually has a lot of memories for me because I was quite nervous. And as soon as we did that video, we already had patrons coming in, which was just astounding.
It was
to me.
really cool.
It was cool.
That was really cool. I liked the one where we just sat there and ate cereal.
Oh,
because
yeah.
we weren't talking about the cereal podcast. We were actually getting listener ideas for future shows. But we were sitting there just eating the cereal like
eating
it was no big
three
deal.
different kinds of cereal together.
And like slurping. And I remember thinking to myself, this is the most ridiculous thing we've ever done. But I looked back.
No,
and
the most
watched
ridiculous thing you've ever done is when you brought me a double stuffed chalupa.
Yep.
And
that was last season
with a candle in it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You're welcome. Happy birthday last year.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right, let's talk about the episode that took the most work.
Hitchcock.
Oh my gosh. Joel, I want you to slow down real quick. Yes, you had to watch many movies, maybe 80 hours worth of movies in this
like
one.
100 hours, I swear.
But also, is this the most amount of work compared to the research that you have done on some of these shows?
Yes, because not only...
You're saying not just time, but just work.
Yes.
Right? Like
Right.
mental exertion.
No, but
Yes.
you have to realize that I was watching 2 to 3 Hitchcock movies a day for like 2 to 3 weeks
I
straight.
like him, and that's a lot.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it was just... I remember I would literally get up in the morning, watch as much as I could before work, come home for lunch, watch as much as I could during lunch, finish out one at the end of the day, and then start a new one, and then start it over the next day.
Yeah,
like
that's rough.
it was Hitchcock for 2 weeks. I burned out where I honestly didn't watch any movies for about 2 weeks after that show. And it was not just watching the movies either. I had to research all of them. I had to put them in categories.
Well, and also you had to find them on YouTube, like the low budget versions on YouTube. And maybe it wasn't the right movie.
Ken had to tell me where to skip on Frenzy. He's like, Joel, here, skip these 4 parts on Frenzy and it won't be rated R.
I had to watch this rated R Hitchcock movie
for the naughty parts.
Look for the naughty parts and like time it and be like, you actually can't watch the end of this movie. I'm just letting you know now. Turn it off right before it ends.
Which I just closed my eyes.
You know, that one actually probably did take the most work. Obviously, I'm going to go for the one where I stress out every year, and it's always the listener quiz. It was episode 150.
Yeah.
And we purposely, unlike last year, we were ready to take hours. In fact, we told everyone that was coming with, hey, prepare to be here the rest of the night if possible, because we're going to record the show. And that's what we do. We really want to set this game up. And for everyone listening, we want it to be a quick show. But while we're there, it does take setup. We need to move on to categories. We all need to take breaks and everything like that. That is a big editing ordeal for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, also, anytime we do a musical bracket show, there's so much behind the scenes stuff where, first of all, we have to whittle the list down from 300 to 64, and then we had to organize the list, and then we had to research each band. Like for both the One Hit Wonders and the New Wave, it was probably 20 plus hours putting into that.
So, Jake, with the work that you put into the Choose Your Own show,
Yeah.
which one of those took more work?
Between what, the listener?
The first date one? Oh, or the listener quiz.
Yeah, the
Would you
listener
say
quiz
the
takes a
listener
lot
quiz
too.
was the biggest?
No, it was definitely the
Halloween?
Yeah, the choose your fast food nightmare.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah, no, that one, I think I said it was probably 40 or 50 hours. And I don't know why. I was trying to downplay how much time I spent. Like it was more than that.
Oh, geez.
It was a stupid amount of time.
Thank you.
And like when it was over,
Jacob,
I
it's
was
okay.
like, I'm not doing that again.
It's okay.
Like,
It's
not
okay
like
if
that.
it was a stupid amount of time. It didn't show. It's okay.
It did.
I love that episode.
No, it's
No,
not.
it was fun.
It's totally not. It was not worth that much effort.
You know what?
It was a fine show. It's like a tier 2 show.
Yeah, reverse listener did give it tier 2.
Did
No.
he?
Yeah, he did.
No, that's
just
totally
cruel.
fair. That's
I know.
totally fair.
No, look, we died so many times in the worst possible ways. It was so unpredictable.
It was
for
so
me.
crazy.
Yeah, it was too crazy. People couldn't connect. I needed to.
No, but I think
that's the
about-
thing when I said I need to go back and fix it is like I needed to ground the listener with the story,
grounded
so
listener.
that they could kind of follow along. Like it was a storytelling error that I made.
Well, here's the
with
thing,
that.
Jacob. That's actually one of the episodes I've thought about most since we undid it. Like I just the visuals were so good in a way that I can just see Ronald McDonald just standing there in this pillar of light,
Oh, that's
blackness
good.
all around
That's
him,
good.
and then the 3 helpers over there and the tools over
Or
there.
Joel and I hiding in the McDonald's slides while a giant chicken is chasing us.
A rooster.
A rooster. Sorry.
Rooster, come on.
Here
Yes.
comes a rooster.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? It's not an episode, but one of the things I probably put way more time in that I needed to was the patron song, the 70 lines about 35 patrons.
Yes.
You did put a lot of time
Because
into that.
I was actually I was on vacation during that.
You spent your family time
I
researching
was literally
our
sitting in the
patrons?
family cabin, Facebook stalking people, and then writing the song, and then practicing the song, and trying to find the right track, and doing it often over and over again.
Okay.
So much that my little 4-year-old and my 2-year-old were singing along because they knew the words.
I love that. Actually, that's
And
awesome.
so because I wanted to get it, I wanted to be able to do it in one take, and I did.
You did.
successfully in episode 169, How to Dad. I did it in one take.
But what if you got to someone and they had a kind of a private profile and they had 2 images and one was a cover photo? Like, how did you make a verse about that person?
One of them, I just think I said they're not on Facebook, or I can't remember exactly.
Okay.
But I will say that I went back and listened to the song in preparation for this episode, and I got that sick feeling in the pit of my stomach again. Because it was just, when I was about to do it, I was so nervous
Hey,
about
Joel,
doing it.
Get ready for more of that. That's
Yeah.
happening again and again.
Aw, Jacob's going to be singing more next season.
Yay!
Unlikely. All right, what's the episode that we forgot that we did this season?
I'm going to go with this episode is underrated.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember this episode is overrated. We had a lot of fun with that. This one was super low key.
I genuinely want to be like, we did that this season.
Okay.
Well,
so,
no, because we
Like, not even joking.
That show is the only reason I remember it is because we had a whole section on like most underrated thing to buy at a dollar store.
Yes.
And we cut that from the show because it just didn't go anywhere. And I remember I was like, light bulbs for my lava lamp. That's the best thing to buy.
I want to read this quote from Reverse Listener when he gave the show a tier 3. You ready? He said, he or she said, random categories like most underrated Nickelback song, ... That's basically the gist of this episode.
Oh.
And honestly, I had fun with it because they're random categories that we researched, but I didn't even know that this was season 4.
I want to do it again.
Like you're using reverse listener stats over there as your reference point.
Yeah.
One that I forgot we did this past season was actually, I mean, the trilogy one was one I forgot about. I would have forgotten about had I not forced you guys to do that cover art with the 3 different colors.
Yeah, the format of that show was so much fun, though.
I know, because it was like
It was like the original that could stand on its own.
It was in 3 parts, 3
Yes.
choices for each. So yeah, the first movie that could stand on its own, the sequel that was better than the original,
Yes.
and then the third one that killed the trilogy. Was that it?
Yeah.
And I thought that was a fun. I thought it was a fun episode.
It was.
But no, the one I forgot was actually the best seasons of TV shows. TV Seasons of Love, episode
Yes.
156. And
Because anytime we do TV, it's not like
I feel
it's
like we need to do that show because I don't think that happened.
it did happen
do it again.
But that was when we're kind of, there wasn't a lot of conflict because Ken and I agreed most of the time on like,
We
you know,
love the same shows.
The best season of Breaking Bad or the best season of Buffy, and so it was a really fun episode. But I remember I looked at it, I'm like, that's right, we did do seasons of TV shows. I can take that one off our list.
Yes. I think anytime we do TV, it's not always like super relevant to the time. It's more evergreen because we're talking about like great TV shows we love and not like crappy fantasy Viking shows on Netflix. So anyways,
Crappy.
what's next?
It's a hypothetical. Are you getting offended by a hypothetical?
Yeah. What's up with that?
You just throwing that out there.
I'm not offended. I'm just going to murder him.
Dr. Matt.
All right, speaking of that, what's the biggest fight?
There were a few.
That you think? I was actually thinking we were pretty peaceful this season.
We were peaceful, but there were a few where I was really mad at you.
And I didn't know?
You just didn't tell you.
Are you just mad at me right now?
Yeah, actually.
We okay, buddy?
Finally, Joel. So a real fight we had was behind the scenes. And it was for the show PS1 I Love You.
Okay.
Do you remember this one?
Oh, yeah.
And so on these video game shows, we're going to do another one next season, but we talk about video game consoles and then we come together. And Jake, because you didn't know a lot about PlayStation 1.
You guys were like yelling at each other over Messenger.
I have no idea.
So Joel, I was like, you pick 10 games and I'm going to pick 10 games. We're going to create the best PlayStation classic, which actually came out and was amazing, not really. And we're going to come up with the best list of games. And you said, well, here's my PlayStation 1 experiences. I really love these games. And I said, Joel, you don't know anything about PlayStation 1. Your games are subpar at best. I mean, that's
this
not really
is normal
what I said.
behavior from you, though.
I know.
Why would I
I
have
know.
gotten mad at that?
No, but really, I was like,
That was actually a conversation with his mom.
Joel has the worst taste in PlayStation games. Mom! No, but it was like this thing where I basically defeated your spirit on that episode where you're like, sure, yeah, let's just do this game, but, Twisted Metal 2's got to be on there and sort of and I felt bad about, and I'm glad you don't remember. This never happened.
No, I vaguely remember something where I was finally like, whatever, Kent.
Yeah, you said whatever.
I was like, just pick the games you want.
I know.
Because Kent would not back down.
Because it was like my child. Like that was my era. And so I was like, Joel, you can't put that game because another game won't make the list. I basically was condescending about your PlayStation
I don't see
love.
how this is any different from any other show.
Yeah. Good
It
point.
is. But on the shows, like we have flying versus teleporting, which we didn't make into a full show, but it came on the show with great power
Maturing
comes great
superpowers.
immaturity.
Yep.
And that is a war that we've had, honestly, for 6 years at this
Yeah.
point, 6.5 years.
And never ending. And
Yes.
every time Kent gets really heated. You can't just give yourself all the power in the world, Joel.
He's doing the hand pointers. yeah. Stirring. Burger King color.
Toilet bowl.
Yeah. But that's a fight that we've had. Honestly, we have more fun with that argument than anything.
I have to go look back at that PlayStation argument now. I want to see how heated it was.
I know, really. But also, another time, sorry, Joel, I'm just totally taking this over because I get a little heated.
He apparently
It's-
has very clear memories of these
It's
things.
when
Joel.
you hated on Cinnamon Life and gave Normal Life a tier 1, but Cinnamon Life like a tier 3.
Which
Joel, that was
confession.
crazy.
No, I was so
that was
mad.
crazy
Confession.
stuff. Okay, you changed your mind
No, I got
because
to
you were wrong.
I got to the end and I went, I really can't remember if that's the way it is. So I went and ate Cinnamon Life and Regular Life, and I stand by my decision.
You're wrong.
That's
You're
crazy.
absolutely
Regular
wrong.
Life is
That's
better.
Cinnamon Life.
Do you like eating cardboard or do you like eating
Regular
sugar?
Life has a very kind of subtle sweetness where it's delicious. Cinnamon Life, a little overkill. I'm not saying it's like terrible because I like Cinnamon Life, but I like Regular Life better.
No.
And I proved that to myself.
So it might be the craziest thing you've ever said.
Because I can
Actually.
tell
Yes.
you guys the maddest I've ever been.
Okay.
Wait, actually mad.
Actually mad.
Okay.
Was the 80s New Wave show when OMD did not go as far as I wanted, and then Kent kicked Erasure out of the bracket, so they were not in the
Do you
final
remember,
four.
Jake, do you remember this?
I do.
Because
I was
I was-
apologizing so much after
I
the
was
show.
very mad. I was very mad about it to the point where I actually listened to it in preparation for our 80s One Hit Wonder show. I was like, I'll go back
Yeah.
and listen to 80s New Wave bracket. And I
then-
actually texted, I messaged you
Yeah.
guys, I said, Kent, I hate you and you're a jerk. And Kent's like, what'd I do? And I'm like, I'm listening to the 80s New Wave bracket again.
Yeah.
That was one where I was legitimately angry.
And we had another fight, and I'm like, look, the final four was perfect.
Isn't
You're
that when
like,
I said you
it
had
was
it coming for what you did in the 90s alternative bracket?
No. Well, maybe you said that because
You probably did
You were
have it
mad that who was that?
Look, Third Eye Blind, you
Toadies
kicked out in
got
the
knocked
first
out.
round.
Who? They got knocked out. I don't care about
Who? Are you serious?
Like, Joel, you put the Thompson
Pinnacle
twins into
album
the
of the
final
90s.
four.
that. No, you put the Thompson twins.
I
in the
did not put the Thompson twins. I would have gone
You
Tears
had
for
to have.
Fears. I voted Tears for Fears, and you two
Thompson twins
bozos right
That's
here.
true. That's
with
true.
But
Thompson
you knocked
twins.
out Erasure, which only proves that I'm a bigger Erasure fan than Kent.
That's not true at all.
It is
I
true.
will sing Yahoo right now. I'll sing Imagination. Ship of Fools. Just ask.
But he knocked him out of the final four because he hates them.
No, I think
You
I was
guys
trying
are nerds.
I think I was trying to be antagonistic, and it really worked.
I did not like that episode. I may not listen to it again for a while. Or some episodes that I can't listen to because it brings up those feelings again. That was one where I'm like, I shouldn't be listening to this.
Yeah, because then you send mean texts.
I do.
All right, what would you say are the biggest accomplishments this season?
Just too many. Too
so
many
many.
to recount.
There, we're done.
Okay.
No,
That's
okay.
over.
I'm going to read through the real quick list here. So,
Yes.
for example, I feel like Hitchcock was a huge accomplishment of us watching every single Hitchcock
Ditto.
movie. Jacob, have you done that yet?
Oh yeah, I did it long before you
Oh,
guys.
have you
I just
seen-
didn't want you guys to feel so bad.
Jake's seen 4
Lies.
movies. I
Oh,
won.
that's right. Jacob hasn't seen that many Hitchcock
Yeah.
movies. I forgot.
I won that challenge.
All of them.
You actually
way
got
before you
legitimately
guys.
mad about that. We kept
Yes, I
downplaying
did.
How many, how many Hitchcock movies you've seen? You're like,
I should have brought
"Guys."
that up. Yeah, it's like, yes, there's 4 I haven't seen. I was way ahead of you guys until you did your blitz, okay?
Now you know how I feel about the Oscar show. And I was like, I'm doing this little challenge where I'm watching all the best picture winners. You guys are like, we won. We watched them double speed at work. We won. No, okay. So Hitchcock was a big one. Quick
Yes.
Wits Night was a big accomplishment.
Oh, that
yes.
was.
we
Yeah,
got
that was.
that organized finally. So
Yeah.
thank you, Terry, for watching Blink on Doctor Who. Also Patreon, of course.
Yes.
Big accomplishment there of actually kind of giving extra perks and getting some money in so we can do these giveaways and get-togethers. Eating everything at Burger King, and then of course this is like the 5th thing I have on the list.
Okay.
Jacob had a baby. Joel did too, but Jacob had a baby.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool.
I like how that's number 5 off.
I know.
It's
like
not really in the same
It is
category.
number 1. It was. We were all so excited. We've known about it the whole year, and we've always
Yeah.
just been so stoked for this to happen.
I think we teased it at the end of the future episode
Yes.
of a baby coming. 'Cause we
Or
knew it
did
was
we?
coming. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that was one of, and then we
Also, she's gorgeous and it's awesome.
She is.
yeah, she's
so
beautiful.
cute.
Yeah.
And then we had the French fry matrix, which I think that was an accomplishment because we actually
really
had
was.
scientific. We made the French fry
was so much work.
show feasible.
Yes.
Like
About
an
French
objective
fries.
reality.
Yes.
And then finally, the night that we recorded 2 episodes and a bacon bit in one night.
Woo.
Because I believe that was when I was going on vacation
Yeah.
or when Jacob was having a baby.
Or when I was pregnant. I don't know. I'm pregnant now. It's a joke from earlier in the show. So for me, it's the Hitchcock movies. Also, because we had the trailer discussion, I don't watch trailers with the same regularity that I used
Really?
to.
Since that bacon bit?
Yes.
Ah.
Like I try to cut it down. I
Really?
try to cut the news down. And honestly, movie websites are just gross and clickbaity. So I try
They
not
really are, aren't they?
I try not
It's
to go to
annoying.
any of them, and because they're just rumors. And they
It's
throw
like,
them
we got a
out.
picture of this guy, so we're guessing that these 8 things are going to happen. Like,
Exactly.
shut up, man. You don't know what's going on. Quit trying to get us to click on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, winning the Prisoner of Azkaban deep dive.
I hate you. I got mad during that show, but it wasn't a fight. It was just I shut down because I was so bugged at myself.
And we're still
You
going to
did.
talk about this, but getting our moms together on a
Yeah.
show,
Yes.
was we talked about. We wanted this last year, and Jake, your mom lives in Missouri, but getting all them together for one night, which was just a blast. We'll talk about it in a
Sunday night.
Yes.
It was all we got together. It was fun.
It was fun.
You think we're going to talk about it later on?
bit. I think so.
Yeah, probably so.
All right, guys, what are the biggest regrets from this season?
I have one.
Okay.
I have one regret, and it's something I ate at Burger King. It's the Burger King Morningstar Veggie Burger.
That's your regret?
It's my one.
Morningstar
The
veggie
Morningstar,
burger?
this-
You remember that one,
Oh
don't
my!
you?
It was really bad.
It was so salty.
Morningstar, which could be
yeah.
translated as Satan.
Yes, I remember you bringing that up in the last show.
I forgot that.
It's like we ate everything there, and I do think it did terrible things to my body. But that veggie burger was the worst thing to enter my mouth from Burger King.
That's pretty terrible.
Oh, that's,
I just was so. Oh, I can't. I mean, it was like a vacuum of taste. It stole taste buds from my mouth.
It's one of the few things I didn't finish.
Yeah, same.
Where
I
ate
had
it
like
and I'm
3 bites.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yep.
I'm out.
So, but no other real regrets.
I had 2 bites of that one. I ate it and I was like, "Oh, that's terrible."
Yeah.
Is it really that terrible? Let's try one more time. Yep. Not finishing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a couple regrets.
Oh.
Number one, not calling Kent Sprinkles more after episode
Don't do
154,
that.
Office Etiquette. When
Quiet sprinkles.
we found
That's
out
not fair.
when we found out that Sprinkles had the nickname Sprinkles, and
Actually, you guys are really kind about that. You haven't given me stuff about that at all.
it's
this season.
since episode 154, I
Yes.
think is what it is, Office Etiquette. And we were going to call them Sprinkles, but then we just kind of forgot.
It's
so
too stupid is the trouble.
Yeah.
that's the problem. It's not a regret, but I wish we would have gotten more feedback from the United States of Filmerica show.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that was a really fun premise, one that could, go viral maybe.
What did reverse listener give that one?
Oh, I'm sure he gave it a tier 3. That's just how he is. He or she.
But then also, I think the graphic was spectacular, and I think it had universal appeal.
Yeah.
But it didn't take off as much as I wanted to.
Right.
But my number one, and this is a reversal.
Oh gosh, biggest regret. I had made some mistakes on that show. Actually, yeah, the Filmerica.
Really?
Yeah, there was a couple. I was like,
No, you chose me, so you chose right.
no, I didn't even choose Oklahoma for Oklahoma. I
know.
I'm like kicking
I know,
myself
it's so
for that.
mad.
I'm like, what was I thinking? I just chose them. Far and Away. That's what I chose.
Yeah, Far
because
and
I'm
Away.
like, I like Far and Away better, but that's stupid.
It's a bad
it
choice.
makes perfect sense to me. But that's just it. Is like every now and then, this dovetails in what I was going to say. Every now and then, you make a decision on a show, and it's written in stone on that show, and you can't really take it back. But I'd like to take something
true.
back right now.
You can't. You just said that you can't.
I'm ready.
So you can't.
Well, that's the thing is, in the episode, no one's ever going to hear it. But if they listen to this one, they'll get the retraction.
It's- No one's gonna
I've
listen
made
to.
apologies on this show before. Let's hear it.
I'm bumping Muppet Christmas Carol back up to number 1.
No,
Yes!
no, I'm sorry.
And
you cannot do that just because
Why
you
can't
got
you do
no,
that?
Because
It
the
is
more I
in-
thought about it, I said, you know what? I love While You Were Sleeping.
Yes.
But I forgot it was a Christmas movie.
Right.
And
that's the case I try to make.
And that's the thing is I was like, I totally forgot it was a Christmas movie, but I love that movie, so I'm going to make that tier 1. And then the more I think about it, when I think of Christmas movies, Muppet Christmas Carol is definitely a tier 1, and While You Were Sleeping gets bumped down to
Nice
tier 2.
try. You've already got the hate.
It was a
It's
mistake.
By the way, this will never make it onto the final episode.
You're gonna cut this out?
for sure.
But yeah, I did feel bad about that. Like, I got the hate, and I'm like, whatever. But then I realized I'm not the dare to be the villain guy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but it's not even because of the hate. It was because I kind of thought about it after. I'm like, yeah, While You
Yeah.
Were Sleeping could probably be tier 2.
Yeah, no, that's a good call.
I mean, it's the same
Yep.
reason Kent gave Night Before Christmas tier 2, because he likes it less.
He's going to cut this part out too. Next up, we're going to talk about a couple sets of threes. First, the 3 favorite moments.
Oh man.
I have more than 3.
Okay. Go through them quick.
So, okay.
And don't bring up when you got pregnant again, okay?
Man, there's so many because there's quotes. Oh, I have so many. Can I just read through like some
Well,
honorable
these
mentions?
are favorite moments in the show and outside the show. So yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Okay.
Outside the show too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say Baconsale Night at Quick Wits was one of my favorite moments.
Yes. Well, it was just so fun because we didn't know kind of like how many people were going to show
Right.
up, and then ended up being a large amount of people, much more than we expected, and a great show too.
And it was honestly, if anyone was like saw a bird's eye view of the 3 of us, actually kind of looking awkward because we knew a few people, of course,
Right.
But there were people wearing Baconsale shirts, and you're listening now, and we don't know who you are by appearance. And even though we should have just been like brave and been come over to seeing you, or people that weren't wearing Baconsale shirts, we didn't know if you were there for us or not.
Guys, we're novices at this. We should have
Yes.
set something up. And I'm
Right.
saying this to the listener. Sorry, listener. We're novices.
Well,
at
we even
this.
did it like we went to got ice cream and people
Right.
came and we were still like, should we say hi to everyone or are they a random stranger that's going to
Can
be
you
like,
imagine
who
how
are you?
arrogant it would sound to
It
walk
really
up
would.
to someone
It
and be
really
like,
would.
"Hi, you're probably here because of me.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Baconsale.
But I will say, like,
We're
thank
just
you
here for ice cream, sir."
to see the support that we got was so much fun. And then Joel brought us up on stage. People were cheering. Jake and I were sweating to death and just bawling because we were laughing so hard that we were so
Yeah.
out of place.
That was a fun moment. So thank you to everyone
yes.
who came out. We're going to have more of those. It was fun to do, and you gave us a positive experience. So we want to do that again.
Yes. Also, oh man, there's so many here, but I'm going to save. Okay, I just want to read a quote. This is one of my favorite moments. But Jake once said on the Superpower show,
Uh-oh.
in quotes, I would go sit on a park bench and wait for people to sit down if he were invisible. And we lost it on the show. I cut out 5 minutes of giggling after that because that's so inappropriate. But
That's because we just had a cold conversation.
yes.
Just before that, about how you had to be naked to be invisible,
Right.
Which makes the park bench thing even more awkward.
I don't remember saying that part.
So my real number 2.
I think I said if I was Kent, that's what I would do.
right.
No, because you were just about to say that, and then Kent said, "Well, you have to be naked." And you're like, "No, you just ruined what I was going to say."
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is.
My real number 2 was the office after office etiquette. I had former coworkers reach out and be like, was that me? Or was that this person? I'm like, oh no, people listen to this show. But my number 1, honestly, is you guys keeping tabs on me and the dating that I try to mix in with Baconsale. There was one time, and I don't want to get too into the weeds because this does happen occasionally where these two, they'll be my little chaperones. They'll be my Jiminy Crickets.
Yes.
I don't know who's the devil, who's the angel on the shoulder. But there was a time where
We're
you
both
guys,
angels, and you still don't listen to us.
Sure.
You're,
Yeah,
the,
Jake.
you're the devil. Two angels on the
exactly.
shoulder of a devil.
But these two try to make me form a vow that I would not ask anyone out from Baconsale.
So we'll just say,
Which you still haven't done.
we'll just, no, yeah, you still haven't taken the vow. But no, we'll just say that in the past there have been guests that have been great. We want them back on again, but then Kent goes on some dates.
A little too great because then Kent asks them out.
Kent asks them out,
Well-
and then it gets awkward, and then they don't want to come back on the show.
Early this year, you guys got mad at me. You're like, thanks a lot. Now we can now never have that person on the show again. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And then so you both said, let's make a vow now. And you both made a vow that you would never ask a
Jacob
guest
and I
out.
made a vow that we would
did.
never date anyone that comes on the show.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Kent's like,
Weird how easy that was for you guys.
because we're married.
But that, for me, that is something I've reflected on and has actually come up multiple times that I think is so funny.
So are you going to make the vow now? Is that what you're...
You're gonna break a lot of hearts, Ken. You're gonna make a lot of women angry.
Yep.
You're not making the vow, are you?
So Kent?
No, he's not making
so
the vow.
Kent, anyway.
Anyways, what are you guys' favorite moments?
Okay, so one of my favorite moments, kind of random, but Quick Wits Night I of course mentioned, and then finger boobs. That was fun to bring up on the
Right.
show. It's become a running gag. This is actually an off the air thing, but after we recorded the Women Crush Wednesday show, we just sat down and us and Lindsay were just sitting there chatting.
Oh, yeah, it's
and
scary
we all
stories.
started swapping scary stories. This is after November, or this is after October.
Yeah.
Past midnight, by the way.
Yeah, past midnight. We'd start chatting and we start telling scary stories. And Lindsay had some terrifying stories. And I remember just getting creeped out. I'm like, this is so much fun.
It was so scary.
I really enjoyed that.
We told
It was
stories
funny
till like
'cause
$2:30 in the morning.
Joel's all like, I got to get home. You're telling scary stories? Hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me sit down.
By the way,
Tell me
we
more.
were done with horror stuff since October, but all of a sudden we're like, yeah, scary stories. Let's
Yeah,
do
that
this.
was fun. Also, and this is one of those things we may talk about once again, but our moms getting to know each other and just seeing them communicate with each other. And like my mom is so just like, how's Abby and Freya doing? Like, what's going on? Like,
She's so sweet.
She wants to know it. She considers them friends now, and I love that. That's one of those favorite
That is
moments.
sweet.
And then my number one is actually when I finally finished the Hitchcock movies.
Yeah.
Because it was this binge watch. It started out as we were like, okay, we're only going to watch these certain Hitchcock episodes, and then Kent's like, I'm watching them all. And I'm
I
like,
don't know what I was thinking.
okay, well, how much am I going to have to watch before I watch them all? And I had to plan it out. Like I said, I was watching them multiple a day. And I remember the last one I watched was a Russian dub of the German dub or the German made movie Mary.
Yes.
Which it's already in German, but it's it's a remake of Alfred Hitchcock's Murder. So I already knew what was going on. So I was like, I'm just going to watch the movie and then call it good. And I remember being done. Actually, what was supposed to happen, Jacob,
Okay.
is that Kent and I were supposed to watch the last movie together.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said,
Kent was on a date with one Baconsale guest.
he was trying. He was trying. But I said, Kent, do you want to watch Under Capricorn together? And he's like, yeah, I would. I have the quote here that says, I would love to
I'm
watch.
busy.
Did I pull a Dr. Matt on you?
You said, I would love to watch Under Capricorn with you.
So I was like, hey, Dr. Matt, let's go see Spider-Man. Yeah, I'll make that
It
happen.
was Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that was it.
So then I was like, great, this is great. And then he admitted later he had watched it. And I have here
I
a
pulled in
messenger.
Titanic.
I said, that's fine, ... I wasn't planning on it anyway, ...
Oh, that's
My heart was
so sad.
broken. But then I finished and I was done with Hitchcock with a couple days to spare. And it was so nice to not have to worry about watching Hitchcock anymore. Even though I like him, it was a lot of Hitchcock.
Yeah. What about you, Jake? Any favorite moments?
You guys have said a bunch of them, honestly. No, I can't think of anything else.
That was one of them.
Favorite moments, maybe the birth of your child.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking on the show, really.
That was kind of on the show.
Yeah, it was. Actually, having Abe on and talking about that, I mean, that was cool.
Well, no, but don't forget that it actually was on the night of the recording.
Oh, yeah.
When all of a sudden you're like, guys, my wife's having a baby, and we're like, ha ha.
Is that what
Yeah.
Zach came to cover for me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, what show was that?
Oh, it was actually Cable IMAX erased the Erasening.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was one of those Baconsale moments when I'm like, no, Jacob's just fooling us. And then Jacob actually takes a picture of himself in the hospital room with his wife, and he's like, yes, I'm joking. We set up this photo just for the joke.
And then we started doing Marco Polo, which was pretty great.
Yeah.
Also, this is also behind the scenes, but Jake, you got pretty sick for like a month and a half there.
Yeah.
Like where your voice
Oh, I
just
did. Yeah, that's
was
right.
totally shot.
That was the weirdest thing ever.
And there was a time where like if you laughed or just expressed too much, you couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
And so, that's a problem
So
on
Jacob
a
would,
podcast.
so Jacob would have to. He would have to stroke his throat with two fingers. I'm doing it right now, but just like
each
stroke
side.
down.
So
each side.
So listener, what you do is it's the larynx would spasm and then it would block off my airways, and so you can actually rub this, like gently sort of rub the larynx if you push like right behind your ears and then down your throat a little bit
On both sides.
at once,
two
and
fingers.
it actually massages that area and causes the muscle to release.
So
So,
then it
I couldn't breathe, and then I would do that, and then I could go.
So
Yeah, and I'm
we'd
like,
be doing
oh.
shows, and you could probably hear like Jake being pretty scratchy. We tell the joke, it would be funny. Then all of a sudden we hear,
Oh, I know.
And then-
I would be like, stop being funny.
And then we'd all go, Jake, and we'd all
Jake,
start doing
rub.
a gesture on our throat.
And sometimes a running gag too, because all I do is I like cough, and then I look over at Kent, and he's like rubbing his neck.
And most of the time, Ken would cut it out of the show, but that was
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
one of those running gags that
Yeah,
were like,
there was a few weeks in a row there where that was pretty rough.
Yeah,
Because I
it's
had
pretty
bronchitis,
scary.
and then I got that, and I had to see a specialist, and it was the worst.
then he had
Yeah.
a baby.
And I had a baby. All right, guys. Sort of the final category here before we look ahead. Favorite 3 episodes.
Now, this was tough because there were a lot of episodes that I think I
Yes.
could have picked. I, however, went with the choice of nostalgia in all 3 of my picks.
okay, let's hear it. Well, let's hear your 3.
My 3 are The Mom Show, When a Man Loves Some Love Songs,
Wow.
and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Really?
And
Love songs made it that high.
because, and this is, well, we'll talk about the Mom Show in a second, because I'm pretty
Yes.
sure that's on your list too. But these are all nostalgia picks for me, because Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was one where reading those stories again brought back so many memories. Like I
Yes.
loved the prep for that show, because I just read through all those stories and had the same feelings come up.
I remember texting you and I'm like, have you actually read all these, or what are you doing for your research? And you're like, I'm reading them in the dark, and I had to stop.
Yeah, because it brought back all these emotions.
Right.
And then we literally recorded the episode in the dark.
So good.
And I love that. That was so much fun. And then actually, When a Man Loves Some Love Songs, it's our February show. It's all about romance, episode 142. That one was just so nostalgic for me to listen to all those songs again.
Right.
And then I had this kind of awkward but funny moment. And that's maybe why it stuck out to me so much, where an ex-girlfriend of mine, I shared the show on my Facebook page, and an ex-girlfriend of mine posted and was like, I can't believe you gave away my song. Because I talked about how I gave away my ex-girlfriend's songs to my wife, like on a CD that's like, these are your songs now. And then my wife got on and commented below her, and she's like, yeah, thanks for the song. And I was like, wow. Worlds are colliding.
Hashtag savage.
That's awesome.
So that's one of the
for the song.
Yeah. So it was one of
Not
those
the
funny
guy,
moments.
but for the song.
Yeah, no, it was one of those funny moments. And so that, and I love, again, I know how hard they are to edit, but I love those music shows where we get to put in clips of songs.
It's so much fun.
I
It's
love
worth
that.
it.
And so, yeah, those are my three.
You know, for my three, really similar to yours, but I'm going to start with Office Etiquette. It was one of those shows where I was like, oh, we've done etiquette shows. Sometimes they're great. Sometimes they're good. This one to me was a great one because we all know those people in the office. And some of the stories and it may have been a little too inside baseball, but the stories that we knew, that we could kind of wink at each other and be like, oh, I remember that
Because we
person.
all worked together
Yes.
for a time.
It was so much fun. And then, people just shared their own office stories after that. We got a lot of feedback. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
That's on yours too?
Just to listen to that show after the fact with the scary music and everything.
Yeah, because you had the music in the background.
It's fun. It's a fun show.
That's one I could re-listen to over and over again.
Yes. And then the Mom Show.
Now
Obviously.
let's talk about the Mom Show.
Well,
shall we?
Jake,
oh,
do you
yeah,
have
Jake,
yours?
do you have your three?
Yeah, I'll throw in the Mom Show for sure, because who would have thought we could pull that off? And that was cool. The other one that I'm surprised we were able to pull off, honestly, was the 150th show.
Yeah.
So for that, I mean, that took a lot of coordination. There was a lot of research and bringing all the people in. Like, that was a big deal, and that turned out to be a pretty cool show.
It was.
Yeah.
And then I throw in kind of a random one here.
It's okay.
The Fantastic Beasts Bacon Bit.
What?
We abused the crap out of that movie.
your favorite episodes.
It was
a bacon bit? We just unleashed our hatred.
Sometimes we got to just be hateful, I mean, man, we did.
We unleashed.
I mean, we all three hated it. Like, we all three were very frustrated with the movie.
I think that's why Kent loved A Wrinkle in Time, is because we just unleashed the fire hose of hate
Yeah.
on that thing.
Yeah.
And I love, Joel, you were playing it so straight. Like, man, you guys are being pretty harsh. We're like, yeah, I bet you will too. And you're like, I don't know. And then we get to you. And you're like, yeah.
And you're like, because this is the worst movie I have ever seen in my entire life.
It's probably
I am
on my
Joel.
list.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's talk about the Mom Show just for a bit, since we all brought that up and we brought it up multiple times. I just want to bring it up because it was one we've been trying to do for 2 seasons now.
Yes.
And it all works whenever Jacob's mom comes into town. And so she came into town and we're like, is this going to happen? This is going to happen. And it was actually almost didn't happen.
Very close.
Because the scheduling was not working out. We couldn't get them all together at the same time. It was going to be one day, but then it couldn't. But then finally one Sunday afternoon, we all got them together at Kent's house. Mm-hmm. And we sat them down and we just let them talk. And I remember just sitting there watching them talk. And I'm like, okay, this could work.
Yeah.
So that was just fun to me to see them all together talking.
And just to see their personalities come together. My mom is very opinionated, is very willing to gab.
She threw you under the bus.
Okay.
So
She
many
really did.
times.
But she was also very sweet towards you as
She
well.
was.
Sweet?
Yeah.
All I heard was I'm a social zero. The girls came over to see me and she said, why would they be here to see Kent?
She did say those things.
Glass is
Yeah.
half empty, Kent. Glass is
really?
half
No,
empty.
she circled back around. I remember her saying some really sweet stuff later.
Really?
Yeah.
And then also, here's what I love.
Kent ended up being the greatest son, blah, blah,
Blah, blah, blah. Joel, your mom was so sweet and is so sweet. And I'm hoping that she will just rag on you in this show. And do you know what she does? She says, no, Joel's a great child.
Joey
Always has
never
been."
got in trouble.
Yeah, Joey.
but here's the thing.
Joey was never in trouble.
Yes.
He was the best son
But
ever.
here's the thing is so it was talking about how Kent's mom was like, he did some weird things, and then Jacob's mom was like, he was building bombs in the basement.
No. Here's the thing. Jake's mom, Freya, like, bless her soul. She's just so real about who Jake is, right? That she's kind of like, no, we're glad he graduated high school. Like,
we're glad he made it. Like, we had no idea.
She was surprised.
And to the point where Jake is like a really successful person, and it's like she's happily surprised by it.
Yeah.
That actually describes it really well. She's like, who knew?
Yes.
This is really nice.
But then as soon as she finishes talking about you, Joel, your mom.
Well, that's the thing is, like, you guys are sitting there like, hey, I stalked women online and I built bombs in my basement. Mom's like, and my mom's like, he didn't do either one of those things, so I can't really compare.
Right.
It's like when I try to swap like rebel stories with you guys, when you guys are like, yeah, I stole a car, and I burned down the school, and I'm like,
the best part.
I sloughed.
Your mom thought Jake was an axe murderer after that show, even though Freya didn't really even go there.
I know. She says, well, Jacob got all these speeding tickets, and then to Joey's mom, I guess that it was equivalent to being an axe murderer.
No, it was something you said about like just not there. I can't remember what it was. You said something right before I listened to the episode because I was like, where did that come from? I listened. I'm like, okay. But it was also just my mom being my mom, where she, like I do occasionally, just jump to conclusions for humor's sake.
But it was perfect because we all have expectations of who we are. But when we were able to hear our mother speak about us, we were able to just laugh twice as hard and be like, it's true.
Permission to get real for a second?
Go for it.
Okay.
That is one of the episodes of Baconsale I will always cherish.
Yes.
Like, honestly, that's one of the ones where I'm like, I will hold that one dear.
I think it is possibly one of our best, top 3 shows we've ever done.
Because it was just this insight into a humorous insight into us that we'd never done before.
Right.
And I really enjoyed that. And just seeing them together, once again, just seeing them together interacting. I love that.
It was neat.
So
yeah, it kind of brought worlds together, friendships together.
Yeah.
It was a neat show.
And it also gave us into Jake, which was always a good thing.
Well, we could assume a lot about Jake.
Jake doesn't agree with the stop sign. He's burning right through it.
Now he's an expert.
That's what she would say, yeah. And then he would just tell me, well, the stop sign shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it shouldn't have.
Oh, I love that show so much.
Mom Show. Go back, if you haven't listened to the Mom Show, go back and listen to it. Episode 158.
All right, guys, that wraps up all of our regular categories. Now it's time to look forward. What are our goals and wish lists for season 5? What are we planning to do? What's season 5 to hold for us?
I don't want to spend too much time on this because I know I'm not going to really achieve these goals, but I'm sure going to try. I would like to mostly write.
Are we going to talk about this next episode too? Is that kind of the plan?
Nah. It's
Not
mostly
really.
just plans for the next year.
Okay, what are we going to do? I want to hear it.
We can have Baconsale goals, but personally, I would like to mostly write a musical because I think that'd be fun. And if I can write this, I believe I could talk you two into performing it. Also, for Baconsale, I want more meetups. Like, I thought the improv night was so cool and so fun.
I wonder if like semi-annual or something like that.
No, if we could do that, that would be the dream.
Quarterly?
Yes.
That's a lot.
Well, I could do a quick show quarterly, but
Oh, well, let's not make any promises, but I really hope so. As
well,
far as
that's how often I usually perform.
yes, and then as far as guests, they're the same ones. It's Kate Baconsale, Lindsay Sterling. What about you guys?
I want a little more realistic on guests. I want to have Dr. Matt back. I really do want to have him back on the show. That's not like a goal. It's more of a wish list. Like, let's make sure we do that.
Right.
Also, Brandon Mull, we just got to decide on a topic, and he said he'd be on. He's happy to do it. And then a live show. I'd like to do the live show where we're there
live show would be cool.
with a crowd.
There
and
with
everything.
a crowd, with an
Okay.
audience, just having a show and letting it be kind of live.
Perfect.
So,
Who knows how that'll go?
yeah. So I'm looking forward to season 5, honestly. I think it's going to, we've already kind of got an outline looking for it.
Yes.
So, I'm excited.
I'm really excited to give some new perks to our patrons. I think that's going to be really fun. Like, I want to give them some cool stuff that we've never done before, because one of the advantages we have with having the Patreon system is that we can try different things.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I'm really excited about that. There's a couple other things. In fact, if you guys don't mind, I'll go ahead and say we're trying to do some things to get some Baconsale billboards up on the highway, up on I-15.
We're actually trying to get 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Utah.
Oh,
Ebbing, Utah. Yeah, so
probably in Ebbing, Utah.
That's something I've been working on, kind of behind the scenes, listener. So if you see,
So just like more awareness then.
exactly,
Right.
yeah, more awareness. I think it's time that we try to expand a little bit in more of a formal way, because I mean, goodness, we're starting season 5, and guys, the 3 of us have done hardly nothing more than just show up and keep putting out episodes and
Right.
hang out.
Well, Ken and I do research outside the show, Jacob.
That can't be right.
And Ken edits the
It happens
shows.
sometimes.
And I do
I'm saying
social
there's
media.
no marketing really.
But honestly, guys, like, this season has been so much fun to me. We've had a lot of new ideas for shows. We've revisited a lot of great shows as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of sequels in this season.
Yes, and it's but just
I love sequels.
I do. Come on, but I am so excited for our next season. And honestly, guys, this is a big deal. So I don't travel in the future anymore.
Why, season 5 is a big deal?
Yes.
Because we don't want to mess with the timeline.
I don't want to mess with the timeline. And honestly, I don't have any time off work. I can't just go to the future. Although I guess with time travel, I probably could.
I don't think you understand time travel.
But here's the thing. I'm really lazy. But guess what? I now am in correspondence with Future Kent. And guess what?
What do you mean you're in correspondence?
He sends me emails sometimes.
Why would he?
Like funny gifts. Funny gifts and memes from the future.
Is this
Future
like
Kent?
Jim
Yeah.
and Dwight?
Deeper than that.
Okay.
But guess what?
Okay.
He emailed me a trailer for season 5 of Baconsale. You ready to hear it?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it. Buckle up your Kent brain. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
I know Robin Williams, and you, Will Smith, are no Robin Williams.
Hey, son, want to have a catch?
Don't bring it up.
Free meal?
Free meal?
I feel like a pervo when I watch anime, but this is a movie about a cat bus.
No.
You don't want to know where my mind just went.
No!
Hey, guys, it looks like Disney just bought Baconsale.
Yes, sellouts.
Okay, Adrian, it's time to defend your title.
Dun 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 dun.
It's finally over. Is this going to be the least family-friendly episode we've ever done?
I hope. Sure, dogs bring you unconditional love, but cats bring you the half-eaten bodies of their kill.
What?
Have you seen how far I can throw?
Let us all pay homage to Kate Beckinsale.
I may have practiced that dance in the privacy of my own room.
Family friendly. Can you taste the difference between 7-Up and Sprite? I don't think so. Same exact drink.
Guys, when are we going to list the top Bollywood films?
Marvel, don't let your billions of dollars cloud your judgment. Listen to me. I'm the captain now.
What doesn't make me cry? Up, down, left, up,
right,
down,
BA.
down.
I never know lyrics. What was your favorite part of the episode?
Does anyone care that Star Wars Episode 9 is coming?
What? You might as well call me the X-Men X-fan.
No. Ex-fan of X-Men.
I'm so confused.
And I look forward to seeing it when it comes out on ClearPlay here in a couple months.
Next year, maybe.
It's not live action. It never has been live action. It will never be considered live action. CGI.
Calm down, Joel. Calm down. Hakuna Matata.
Baby of mine.
John Wick 3.
Kent, congratulations on your engagement. Shazam!
Woo! So what'd you guys think? Season 5.
It's gonna be epic.
I don't know. It feels kind of like a backward step to me.
I think you say that every single year.
It could be true.
I think
Do you
so.
just hate trailers? Do they give too much of the story
They
away?
might give too much away, yeah.
Well, you know, I'm sure that people will remember these quotes.
Yeah, do you guys really think all of those things are going to happen?
They're all gonna happen.
All of them are going to happen?
Future
I
Kent told
don't
me
know.
that we have at least 30 new listeners that really appreciate these
We
trailer
have more than
quotes.
one listener.
Nah.
Yeah, in the
Future
future.
Kent is a liar.
He actually is.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
You're
But
like,
honestly-
I've caught him in lies before.
Thank you for listening to this self-indulgent episode. Thank you for listening to Baconsale Season 4. We literally could not... Well, we could do this without you, but it wouldn't have been as fun.
Yes.
Because no one would be listening and we'd be talking to ourselves.
Yeah, be like 0 listens instead of 1.
Yeah,
And then we would
exactly.
do all of this without microphones.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's what we did anyways, and that's why we started the
But
show.
no, we really do appreciate you listening. We really appreciate your feedback, and don't be too sad that we'll be gone because, you know, we'll be back. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter, or you can find me performing with Quick Wits. They perform every Saturday at the Mid-Bell Performing Arts Center. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quick Wits Facebook page.
You can find me on Twitter at Jacob A. Rogers. Also find Baconsale on Twitter at Baconsale, of course, and on Instagram with the same tag. Go to patreon.com/Baconsale and go support us there if you want to get grandfathered into whatever's going to be happening before whatever's going to be happening in 2019. But
And give us an iTunes review, too, so you can win something.
and
Yes.
give us an iTunes review. That's right.
And if you want to find me on Twitter or Instagram, it's at Kenny3D. Guys, what's that noise?
That's the alarm. I set it up months ago. It's supposed to go off if someone's trying to break into the bacon cave. But that's actually weird because I've set up defenses so that no one can even get within a 100-yard perimeter of the bacon cave.
Oh, like the moat with the piranha in it.
And the fence made out of wasp nests.
And
Exactly.
And the quicksand made out of grape nuts.
Right. Yeah, so I'm going to shut off the alarm and check the monitors.
Okay, please.
Whoa. It's... Guys, it's a bunch of women, and they're angry. It looks like... Okay, don't worry. There's no way they can get into the bacon cave. I don't know what they're doing.
Who are they? What do they want?
Guys, I know exactly who they are. I'm sorry. The women I've tried to pick up using Baconsale. Blind dates, mutual matches, female guests we've had on the show.
Dang it, Kent! You knew what they were when you picked them up.
They don't look happy. Whoa, and they're looking right at the cameras now and smiling.
Oh, they seem to know that we're watching them.
Why do I hear ticking? Jake, I thought you said we were safe.
I don't know. They must have gotten in somehow. Past the bioscanners, maybe a previous guest or something, Kent?
If it's a bomb, I need to find it right now.
Guys, if this is the end, I just want you to know that I love you, Kent, and you're not bad, Joel.
Guys, I'll be right back. I gotta make some dinner.
Wait, what? Kent?
What?
Where are you going?
What?